Hey, what's happening, YouTubers? We're back with a brand new unboxing video. Today's unboxing video is the new Hasbro Marvel Legends Spider-Man Miles Morales from the Marvel's Armadillo Wave. Now, this is based on their Spider-Man Miles Morales PS4 game, and it is from like their GamerVerse wave, or universe, essentially. I just got this in recently from Macy's, actually. They had this in stock for like a short period, for like a day, then it sold out. But without further ado, let's get started with the box art first. So on the side of the packaging, you see the image of the Miles Morales Spider-Man, and then on the back of the packaging, you see the full image of Miles Morales. So on the lower half on the back of the packaging, you see all the figures in this wave. There's 7 figures total, 6 needed to complete the Build-A-Figure, which is Armadillo. Now I already have the upgraded suit Spider-Man, the black and gold, J. Jonah Jameson, and now Miles Morales. I just ordered Doctor Strange, and I told myself I wasn't going to collect this wave, but I'm pretty much 2 figures away from completing Armadillo, so I don't know if I'm going to order those 2. Let me know what you all think. Should I do it or should I not? And then, of course, a little bio on Miles Morales. Feel free to pause it if you want to go ahead and read it. But enough about the box art. Let's go ahead and get Spider-Man out of the packaging. Alright, here's Spider-Man out of the packaging. Let's get started with his accessories first. And just to get the Build-A-Figure piece out of the way, he does come with the right leg of the Armadillo Build-A-Figure. Now, he does come with 3 sets of additional hands, which is something you love to see, especially with the Spider-Man figure, but he has the web-shooting ones already on there, as well as fisted ones. And then he has a set of wall-crawling hands, which is more than I could say for the other Spider-Man figures in this wave. And then he comes with like these supercharged ones. I'm not too familiar what these are because I've never actually played the Miles Morales game, so someone in the comments below, if you have played it, let me know what the powers these are for. And then he comes with an additional head sculpt of Miles Morales, and like I mentioned, I haven't played the game before, so I'm not sure how accurate this is to the game. Someone in the comments below, let me know. I did put on the Miles Morales head sculpt on there, and I think it looks pretty dope. I did want to compare it with the End of the Spider-Verse version, and I do wonder if this head sculpt will fit on here, but I'm just looking at it now. Proportionally, it might not look good because his head's a little bit smaller and it might not look in proportion to this body. Now let's take a look at the figure itself, and as I previously stated before, I've never actually played the game, but based off of the box art, the suit does look accurate to what's on there, and I definitely love the detailing they added to the suit, like the texturing. So if we take a closer look, you definitely see the textures on his chest, as well as like the red stripe. And also, my favorite part about this figure, check it out, pinless joints. So pinless double elbow joints and pinless double jointed knees. So it's good to see them using the pinless technology even on the GamerVerse figures. So that's awesome to see, especially for a Spider-Man figure that you're going to put in dynamic poses. It's nice to see that they're getting the pinless technology treatment. And honestly, I don't have like a comic accurate Miles Morales on my display, so this is going to be a stand-in for that because I think it's definitely a good substitute. And because it is a Spider-Man figure, I'm going to test the articulation on this to see how much range you can get, like on the double jointed elbows. Like that's pretty impressive. And with the legs, let's see how high they can go. Especially the double jointed knees. Yeah, so you get a nice range of motion. I did switch the hands out to the wall crawling hands. The reason why, I wanted to get them in this dynamic pose I saw online. So yeah, let's go pose away. Yeah, and this is why we need wall crawling hands with every Spider-Man figure, just so you can get awesome poses like this, like whether like he's on the ground or whether he's like upside down, something like that. I wish the standard for Spider-Man figures in the Marvel Legends line is that they each had wall crawling hands, a pair of fisted hands, and a pair of web shooting hands. I did want to mention, when it comes to pinless joints, aesthetically they look awesome, but it is kind of a double-edged sword, and the reason why I say that is because in my case, usually when I get figures with pinless joints, they're either really loose or really stiff. And situations like that, like if it becomes loose over time or something like that, it pops off. I've heard customizers say figures that have the pins that are visible are easier to fix than the ones with pinless joints because once they're on there, that's pretty much it. That's your only choice. Like, you can't really fix it. But I'm not too sure how true that is because I never had to repair Marvel Legends so far, knock on wood. But yeah, let me know what your thoughts are on that in the comments below. Like I said, the trade-off is, it's aesthetically looks great. The trade-off is if it needs to be repaired, it's kind of harder as opposed to a figure that has the pins visible. Now we're going to jump right into size comparisons, and first size comparison, here's Miles Morales next to a couple other figures from the same wave. We have the integrated suit Spider-Man and the black and gold suit Spider-Man. And just to my point about the wall crawling hands, I wish they would have included them with these 2 figures, but I get it. With Marvel Studios properties, sometimes they cost more in budget and whatever, but it just would be nice if they had wall crawling hands. But the good news is I think using this Miles Morales wall crawling hands might work for the black and gold suit Spider-Man. And next size comparison, here he is next to the upgraded suit Spider-Man Walmart exclusive unmasked version and the J. Jonah Jameson from the same Armadillo wave. And next size comparison, here he is sitting next to a couple other figures from the Into the Spider-Verse line. We have Miles Morales and the Prowler. And next size comparison, here he is sitting next to the retro Spider-Man that was released in 2020. And just looking at these figures side by side is awesome. Like I said, this is going to be my stand-in Miles Morales for my comic shelf just because I don't have the original one. And also because I do love this body mold. One, it's pinless, and two, you can get in dynamic poses. And I do like the retro Spider-Man, and it's highly sought after right now, but I do believe, like Dan Yoon from Hasbro Marvel Legends team mentioned, they are working on another version of this, hopefully with pinless joints, and hopefully with a little bit more range, because this Spider-Man definitely is like, it should be the standard going forward for Spider-Man figures. Like I said, I hope they reuse this buck. And last size comparison, here he is standing next to the Marvel Legends Stan Lee. Alright, so my overall thoughts on the figure is, I think it's absolutely fantastic, y'all. Like, in my opinion, this might be one of my favorite Marvel Legends this year, and be on the lookout for that because I am doing a top 10 list again this year, but this is definitely up there. And I'm looking at my collection, and I just saw, like, we've had a lot of Spider-Man figures that came out this year, and in my opinion, this is definitely on the top of the list. It might be a little bit of a controversial one, but in my opinion, this is pretty dope. Like, even though it's based in the GamerVerse Miles Morales game, I still think it looks pretty good and a nice stand-in for your comic display, in my opinion. It comes with an abundant amount of accessories, something you like to see with a Spider-Man figure, additional head sculpt, and the Build-A-Figure piece. But on top of all of that, it's just fun posing this figure, and I had a lot of fun posing it as well off camera. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What do you all think about this figure? Will you be picking it up? And have you played the game? Because I'll be honest with you, like I said earlier, I have never played the game before. And is it better than the other Spider-Man game that came out a couple years back? But yeah, sound off in the comments below, YouTubers. And like always, if you like what you see, hit that like button. If you haven't already yet, subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Half of the packaging, you see the other figures in this wave. So there's 7. God damn it. God damn it. The fuck?